to start with variable customer loyalty metrics, we have to consider first that the customer has to be acquired. So we start with customer acquisition measurement. Acquisition is considered as the first purchase in the first predefined period. So when the customer buys the first time, this is considered as the acquisition. Acquisition in online contexts are quite easy to measure because whenever the customer enrolls, create a customer account and buys, then this date is considered as the first purchase date. In the real world, in the brick and mortar retail context, generally companies consider or retailers consider as the first purchase the day when the customer takes a loyalty card, because without the loyalty card, the customer card purchases cannot be recorded. And therefore, firms then consider the day of loyalty program enrollment as the first purchase. Next to acquisition, we have to know what is the acquisition rate. This is the ratio between the number of prospects acquired divided by the number of prospects target multiplied by 100. For example, if I rent a database with 100,000 addresses and I acquire 50,000 addresses via an email campaign, for example, then my acquisition rate would be 50,000 divided by 100,000, so 50%. I would have an acquisition rate of 50%. 50% of the targeted prospects become my customers. So this is the acquisition rate. It is important to know, for example, if a company is doing a Facebook campaign, it will have the information from the database from Facebook, how many prospects are targeted with a Facebook campaign, a pop-up on the Facebook page, and the number of customers or prospects who become customers, who buy due to my Facebook campaign, are the prospects acquired. For example, if I have 1 million of prospects targeted on Facebook with a very targeted campaign for a skin cream of L'Oreal, targeted to all customers who buy L'Oreal or other cosmetic brands in a given age range, for example, between 30 and 40 years, then Facebook will make appear this pop-up only to these prospects. And those who will click to the pop-up and who will purchase subsequently the products become the clients. So for example, 1 million prospects targets divided by 500,000 prospects who become customers, we have again an acquisition rate of 50%. So the information comes numerator, so the number of prospects acquired come from the internal database records, so the customers who buy. And the denominator, that is the number of prospects targeted, comes from the prospect database or market research data delivered by address rental company. And if we have the acquisition rate, we can also calculate the acquisition cost. This is calculated by doing the following. We divide the acquisition spending, the money spent for acquisition. So the email campaign, the Facebook campaign, the rental costs, so all these are the spendings for acquisition. This amount is divided by the number of prospects acquired. For example, if we have spent $1 million for acquisition, address rental, email campaigns, and we have acquired 500,000 prospects who become customers, it would give us an acquisition cost of $2 by prospect acquired. 1 million divided by 500,000. Information comes, so the numerator comes from the internal database records, that is the accounting department, about the cost. And the denominator, prospects acquired, comes also from internal records about customers who bought linked to email campaign. Once acquisition is done, firms can then calculate all the different customer relationship management CRM metrics, such as lifetime duration, it's in the next chapter, retention rates, inter-purchase time. They can measure purchase baskets, which is the average of all purchase baskets bought in the period. Total amount of purchase baskets divided by the number of purchase incidences. We can then calculate also customer share of wallet, customer RFM scores, recency, frequency, monetary amounts, and we can then calculate also customer lifetime. So all these concepts will be explained and defined in detail in the next chapters.